Hello everyone, I'm Lisa from Puzzles by Lisa, and today we're going to look at all the puzzles from the USA Jigsaw puzzle competition that happened in San Diego just a few days ago. And I thought you were going to like to look at all 9 puzzles that have been sold there. I want to show a few things. One is you can see that there is USA Jigsaw Nationals on each one of them with the special symbol and logo for Nationals. Most of the puzzles we're going to look at, I'll explain exactly like when people have competed with them, and I'll try to also mention some interesting additional facts on that. But basically, like, let's dive in and look at all of those beautiful puzzles, which you can buy right now on the Ravensburger website. So, number 1 that we have here is a puzzle that was the first puzzle to compete with an individual. Individual actually had 3 sections of competitions. Like there were preliminary that actually happened first in 3 sections, and later on there was the final round. So this one is called Fiesta Time, and really funny. This puzzle is, you can see it's very colorful, but there are some parts of it that are quite difficult, like this part and this part, that it's harder to actually differentiate. I've done that one at home. I didn't do it during the Nationals event because I didn't have enough time to actually finish it. But this one is actually like an absolutely adorable puzzle. And a very funny thing that I'm going to show on the screen right now is this puzzle actually exists in Eurographics. And we didn't know that it existed. Ravensburger actually found out only later. And somebody told me on the Facebook group that it exists later. But I didn't know that it existed in 1000 Pieces in Eurographics, and it's a very similar image. It's not exactly the same. Like here you can see the lattice next to the radish. There it's like something slightly different, or they moved like this things to like that side, but it's very clear it's exactly the same table. So if you prefer a 1000 piece, I guess you can find that image in other places. But it was really funny when Ravensburger actually found out few months later that they have this puzzle. This is a puzzle from 2024, of course. It is stock image by Adobe. And again, we'll see that really nice thing that Ravensburger tried to do this time was to make all puzzles from the individuals preliminary to be very similar in both style and actually like in difficulty. That's interesting because overall you'd say when there are preliminary rounds in puzzle competitions, the truth is that it doesn't all matter if the difficulty is not the same. I mean, people don't like it when the difficulty is not the same, but really if you think of like how competition work, it really doesn't matter. And I'll explain why after I'll show you this puzzle. So this puzzle here is called Plentiful Produce. And actually, like, this puzzle is also a stock Adobe images. It is a beautiful puzzle. It is slightly darker than the other one, but it does have a lot of different colors. There is a lot of tomatoes in it, a lot of peppers. I love this puzzle. I think some people got out with trauma from tomatoes. So it depends on your style, and like, you might actually like this one, or maybe you're not gonna like this one that much. But overall, I would say I definitely loved it, and that was fun to do. The third puzzle, which I'm going to show on the screen because I don't have a copy of it, is called Evening Sushi. It's also an Adobe stock image. I love that one even more. I've done it actually like as part of the practice that I've done with my partner Maddie in the evening after the individuals have been finishing. And you can see that it's very easy to separate the right side, which has all the green stuff, from the left side, which has the sushi. Again, that's puzzles that I really like, even though they're somewhat darker, maybe somewhat more difficult, but I really enjoy that type of puzzles. Now, going back to like, why doesn't it matter why individuals might have very different difficulty? If you think of a puzzle competition, the whole goal is to find the best puzzlers, right? Like the first, second, third, like in the Nationals they give 6, but really that's what you want to find. Now, imagine that you have some good, kind of preliminary rounds, and let's say they're very different even. The main point would be that what we need to actually get from each individual preliminary round is that the best puzzlers are going to go up and actually going to go and succeed to finish the puzzle in a quick time, better than the puzzlers that probably are not the best, and so they're not the fastest. They can't actually get in and win the competition. In reality, if you do a good separation of people into groups, like in a kind of a random way, the fastest puzzlers are going to probably finish this puzzle faster, even if it is very different than another puzzle that actually like happened and was much easier to finish. It just that everybody's time is going to be slightly longer. A fast puzzler most of the time is not completely being thrown out just because like the puzzle is slightly more difficult, because they're fast enough to actually like be able to finish the puzzle still in a place that they can get into the final round. And in the final round, of course, everybody gets the same puzzle, so it doesn't matter again because they actually compete against each other on the exact same puzzle. And that's why it doesn't really matter. But I do think that it's very notable and worth mentioning that really the people in Ravensburger and in the USA JPA try to make sure that all the puzzles are exactly the same difficulty and the same style, so everybody felt that it was fun and fair. From here, we're going to go into the puzzles that are the two puzzles for the pairs, and that was preliminary pairs. So let's start with the first one. That one I did in the competition with my partner Maddie, and it's both puzzles are actually by Greg Paprocki, which is an artist that I didn't know. I was told by Ravensburger that he did a few children's puzzles before, and I probably will look them up, but I didn't yet. So this one is called Jazzy, and as you can actually see, it is very, very colorful. It was really fun to put together, and really very unique type of style, which is really cool. I wanted to pay attention to a few things because actually some of them are repeating in the other one. So if you look here, you can see like this fence in the back. Actually, you'll see a fence over here with slightly similar pattern. And if you look here at the floor, then you can see here some floor with kind of similar pattern. So if you do one of those puzzles, you kind of like have, and you have an eye for patterns, then you're going to find out actually some similarities between the two, which I always enjoy because I love patterns. It's kind of my thing. So that was the first one for pairs. And this is the second Greg Paprocki that happened as the second one in pairs. We did that one after the competition, just like on the evening of the pairs, basically like on Saturday. And that was really fun to put together. And as I said, you really can see the patterns. That's actually something that I really like. And then we get to actually like the finals. So we're going to go, first is individual finals. And here you can see Nathaniel Mortensen puzzle. I love Nathaniel. He's amazing. I'm going to make a special video about all of his puzzles. But this one is really something that I really like. I also have a tag in my website, Hot Air Balloon Puzzles. So if you want to find all of them and you like hot air balloons, that's another thing. But if you look very closely here, you'll be able to see Nathaniel and his wife. Now that means that it's very, very hard to see. So if you try really, you cannot tell that it's actually him. But if you know him, he's most of the time walking with a beret. And so like actually like the guy over here, you can see his back and his wife next to him. And you can see his hair, and then there is something on his head, which is basically like Nathaniel's beret. This puzzle is super fun. Even the different shades of green are not exactly the same, so they're actually like not too difficult. And it was super delightful to have Nathaniel actually like in the competition, and also watch people doing his own puzzle, and of course getting his signature here in the side, which is something that all the artists for the finals have done. That was pretty amazing that like really 4 artists have been in the competition, and it was really, really inspiring to meet them, talk to them, and see their puzzles. Now the pairs final was 1,000 piece. That's not something that happened last year, but this is similar to what happened in the World Jigsaw Puzzle Competition. And it was a puzzle by Demelsa Houghton. I made a video about Demelsa just like a few days ago, just preparing to the competition. I thought that would be a nice thing to do. And this one is called Sweet Street, and you can actually, like, if you do it, look, there are lots of beautiful patterns, a lot of beautiful details. It is really fun to do. Actually, like, I've never done a puzzle of 1,000 pieces in a pair in a competition, so that was definitely something that I think I need to try again to just see where to put all the pieces, because that is definitely slightly difficult. But this was a very lovely puzzle, and really I highly recommend to get it. Again, Demelsa signed on it, and that was delightful. And Demelsa is from the UK, and I believe she's probably going home, or probably is already home. Watch the other video, and if you can get your hands on the puzzles that she already had in the past, you totally need to do that. Next, we are going to look at this Elspeth McLean puzzle called Celestial Constellations. And Celestial Constellations is a puzzle that is really showing all the constellations. Of course, this is the easiest part if you ask yourself. But I, as a person that loves patterns, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this puzzle. I probably can do a mandala puzzle like all of my life, just mandala puzzles like Elspeth does. Elspeth, please make more puzzles. I really would love to do them. So I've done that at home after the competition, like when I got back home. Again, you can see here Elspeth signed on the puzzle. It was delightful to meet her, and it was even more delightful to actually do the puzzle. I'll make a video on her, all of her puzzles. And again, if you can get her puzzles, there are a few in 500 pieces if large piece count is scary for you, but I think that, like, they're amazing in every size. Oh, I didn't explain actually the way that it works in the finals for teams. You do 2 puzzles of 1,000, one after the other, as a group of 4 people. And basically, the first puzzle that people did was Dean's puzzle, which I'm going to talk about right now. And the second one is basically like the Elspeth puzzle. In the Worlds, we actually could see both puzzles before we started. But here they did one, and when you finished, you kind of opened the second one. So you couldn't actually see the puzzle until you get to the point that you're able of opening it, or one team is able of opening it. And really, people are amazing the way they can actually do puzzles so fast. I'm not a speed puzzler, like, at all, pretty much. But I have to say that it's really inspiring to see how fast people can do puzzles. So again, the last, and I think one of the most anticipated puzzles right now in the Ravensburger store is Dean McAdam puzzle. That's called Busy Birdies. It is slightly more difficult than his other puzzles, because in his other puzzles, most of the time there was a middle section that was easy. This one was kind of like more different colors in different places. I'm gonna do a video about that, but I did this puzzle again just like a few days ago when I came back home, and I started actually with things like the orange leaves, because again, I love patterns, and patterns are actually, like something shown over there, really good. So it was, again, super delightful to do this puzzle, and Dean was there and also signed it. Actually, this is saying to Karen and has Dean's signature, because this puzzle is going to my friend Karen. And so I have to say that, like, I was super, super happy to see all of those unique styles and unique artists really in the competition. If you have any questions about how those competitions work, I'm happy to answer as much as I know. Or if you have any additional questions about those puzzles, you can get each and every one of them right now in the Ravensburger store. And I can only recommend to go and get them, because they're absolutely beautiful. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put all the final puzzles finished in the end of this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It is giving me a lot of joy to see that people are enjoying the videos. And if you want any specific collections, just let me know, and I'm going to be more than happy to actually, like, put a video for those. Thank you again. See you later.